Stephanie McMahon Levesque is an American businesswoman, minority owner and chief brand officer of WWE. She is also a professional wrestling valet and occasional wrestler. So far she has worked for WWE for over 15 years. She is the daughter of WWE Chairman and CEO Vince McMahon and retired CEO as well as United States Senate candidate Linda McMahon, the younger sister of Shane McMahon, and wife of WWE wrestler and Executive Vice President Paul Triple H Levesque. McMahon began appearing regularly on WWE in 1999 as a part of a storyline with The Undertaker. After a brief on-screen relationship with Test, she was engaged to Triple H, whom she married both on-screen and later in real life via Euro, which resulted in the McMahon-Helmsley Faction storyline. She has held the WWF Women's Championship once. In 2001, she was the on-screen owner of Extreme Championship Wrestling during the Invasion. The following year, she was the SmackDown General Manager, but stopped appearing regularly on television after an I Quit match with her father Vince. After only making sporadic appearances for several years, McMahon began appearing regularly on Raw in 2008 as the Raw brand general manager before disappearing once again. By mid-2013, McMahon returned to regular on-air appearances in the WWE, this time under the gimmick of an unctuous, judgmental owner along with on-screen COO husband Triple H. Together as a power couple known as The Authority, they make what are often shady decrees while claiming only to be concerned for what's best for business, all the while romanticizing each other in the process with public displays of affection. Early life: born on September 24, 1976 in Hartford, Connecticut to Linda and Vince McMahon, Stephanie Marie McMahon appeared at the age of 13 in World Wrestling Federation merchandise catalogs, modeling t-shirts and hats. Later, McMahon attended Boston University, where she earned a degree in communications. After graduating in 1998, she began working for the WWF full-time. Professional wrestling career: World Wrestling Federation/Entertainment/WWE, relationship with Test. In early 1999, at the suggestion of WWF writer Vince Russo, McMahon debuted as the sweet and innocent daughter of Vince McMahon during an on-screen storyline involving Vince and The Undertaker. The Undertaker stalked and abducted McMahon, culminating in almost marrying her in the middle of the ring before being rescued by Stone Cold Steve Austin. McMahon then began an on-screen relationship with wrestler Test, which led to a rivalry between him and her older brother Shane. After Test defeated Shane at SummerSlam in a Love Her or Leave Her match, McMahon and Test went on to team together in a match on September 20, 1999, with the couple defeating Jeff Jarrett and Deborah. The couple were eventually engaged, but during the in-ring ceremony, Triple H showed a video which revealed that he had drugged McMahon and taken her to Las Vegas, Nevada, where they were married in a drive-thru ceremony. McMahon seemed to abhor Triple H at first, but eventually revealed that she had sided with him and that the wedding was a revenge plot against her father for the aforementioned kidnappings, thus turning her into a villain. McMahon-Helmsley era. In 2000, with Vince McMahon absent as a result of injuries inflicted upon him by Triple H at the Armageddon event in 1999, Triple H and McMahon became the on-screen owners of the WWF, a period known as the McMahon-Helmsley era, and dominated by the McMahon-Helmsley Faction. Triple H held the WWF Championship and McMahon held the WWF Women's Championship after defeating champion Jacqueline with the help of Tori and D-Generation X on the March 28 edition of SmackDown. On the June 6 edition of SmackDown, McMahon successfully defended her title against Lita, and on the 16th edition of SmackDown, Stephanie reconciled with her father and brother at WrestleMania 2000 when they helped Triple H defend his title against The Rock, leaving Linda McMahon as the only fan favorite in the McMahon family. In late 2000, a love triangle storyline began featuring McMahon, Triple H and Kurt Angle. The storyline continued at Unforgiven when Triple H defeated Angle with a pedigree following a low blow from McMahon, proving her loyalty to him. McMahon later became Angle's manager and was in his corner when he defeated The Rock for the WWF Championship at No Mercy. The alliance was short-lived, however, as after The Rock performed his rock bottom maneuver on McMahon at No Mercy, Triple H attacked Angle, considering it his fault that McMahon was hurt due to her managing Angle at the time. On the August 21, 2000 episode of Raw, McMahon lost the WWF's Women's Championship to Lita despite the interferences from Angle and Triple H after the special referee performed a spinebuster on McMahon. The internal disputes between the McMahons led to Linda McMahon being in a comatose and wheelchair-bound state due to the stress of being asked for a divorce by Vince, who took the opportunity to have a public affair with Trish Stratus. McMahon briefly feuded with Stratus, defeating her at No Way Out. Over the next few weeks, Vince made it clear that he favored McMahon over Stratus, allowing McMahon to bully and verbally abuse Stratus. At WrestleMania X7, Shane McMahon defeated Vince in a street fight. During the match, Stratus slapped Vince and chased Stephanie from ringside, apparently upset with Vince's constant misogynistic treatment of her. The invasion and divorce. McMahon later revealed that she had purchased Extreme Championship Wrestling and intended to bankrupt the WWF, along with her brother Shane, who had become the on-screen owner of World Championship Wrestling, and the two rosters merged to form a supergroup known as the Alliance. Her team, the Alliance, consisting of her brother Shane, former WCW champion Booker T, Rob Van Dam, Kurt Angle and Steve Austin, was defeated by Team WWE consisting of The Undertaker, Kane, Big Show, Chris Jericho and The Rock at the Survivor Series in a 5-on-5, winner-takes-all elimination match. The night after the Alliance was defeated, Shane and McMahon were banished from WWF television. McMahon returned in January 2002 when Triple H made a comeback as a fan favorite, but the good couple began having problems, as McMahon began acting like a nagging and clingy wife. As part of the storyline, the couple divorced after McMahon claimed to be pregnant in order to trick Triple H into renewing their marital vows. Triple H later discovered that she was lying through a phone call from Linda McMahon and left her at the altar during the renewal ceremony. As a result, after Triple H won the Royal Rumble, McMahon appointed herself special guest referee in a match between Kurt Angle and Triple H at No Way Out with Triple H's WrestleMania WWF Undisputed Champion shot on the line. Though Angle won thanks to McMahon's biased officiating, Triple H defeated him the next night to regain his title shot. McMahon then aligned herself with former enemy, Chris Jericho. Despite interference by McMahon, Jericho lost to Triple H at WrestleMania X8 on March 17. On the March 25 episode of Raw, Jericho and McMahon lost to Triple H in a triple threat match for the Undisputed Championship, with the stipulation that, if McMahon was pinned, she would be forced to leave the WWF. In the match, Triple H pinned McMahon. General Manager of SmackDown. On July 18, 2002, McMahon returned to the WWF as the General Manager of SmackDown. In contrast to her McMahon-Helmsley era villain character, Stephanie became a fan favorite, as she began to favor fan favorite wrestlers at that time. She feuded with Raw General Manager Eric Bischoff throughout 2002, though the enemies inexplicably shared a kiss at a Halloween party in which McMahon was dressed as a witch and Bischoff was disguised as her father underneath a mask. McMahon was given credit for the return of the WWE United States Championship and for the creation of the WWE Tag Team Championship. She was also credited with signing Hulk Hogan back to SmackDown, which caused friction between herself and her father. Meanwhile, Vince McMahon began to resent Stephanie's attempts to stop him from pursuing an affair with Sable. The feud culminated in the first ever For Their Daughter I Quit match at No Mercy. McMahon was accompanied by her mother, the CEO of WWE Linda McMahon, and Sable accompanied Vince McMahon in their match. McMahon lost when Linda, at ringside, threw in a towel on her behalf because Vince would not release a choke he had on her with a lead pipe. As a result of losing the match, McMahon disappeared from WWE television for 2 years. The match was made to write Stephanie out of storylines as she was marrying Paul Triple H Levesque that week. Sporadic appearances, McMahon returned as a villain once again in October 2005. She, along with her father and, in a surprise twist, her mother, fired Raw announcer Jim Ross. A visibly pregnant McMahon also returned on the March 6, 2006 episode of Raw, approaching Shawn Michaels backstage and claiming to have abdominal pains. When Michaels left to get her some water, McMahon pulled out an unmarked substance out of her brassiere and poured it into his bottle of water. This substance caused him to become groggy during his match against Shane later in the night, which he lost as a result. McMahon also appeared at the WWE Hall of Fame induction ceremony on April 1, 2006 and in a backstage vignette with her immediate family at WrestleMania 22. McMahon returned during a backstage segment in April 2007 at WrestleMania 23, visiting her father before his Battle of the Billionaires match. After her father returned to Raw after faking his own death, McMahon publicly revealed that her father had an illegitimate child, who was among the WWE roster. On the taped edition of Raw that aired September 3, 2007, McMahon, along with her mother Linda and her brother Shane, made several appearances to confront Mr. McMahon about the child, who was later revealed to be Hornswoggle, turning into a fan favorite. On Raw's 15-year anniversary episode, she appeared along with Shane in a segment also involving her father Vince and Hornswoggle, which ended with her kissing her real-life husband Triple H, to humiliate her father on Raw. General Manager of Raw. After the severe injuries sustained by Vince on the June 23, 3-hour edition of Raw, Shane appeared requesting for the Raw superstars to stand together during what was a turbulent time. Shane's plea was ignored, and subsequently, for the next 2 weeks, McMahon and Shane urged the superstars to show solidarity. The following week, Shane announced Mike Adamle as their choice to be the new Raw general manager. After Adamle stepped down as general manager, Stephanie soon became in charge of the brand and had altercations with Chris Jericho in the following weeks, which involved her firing him. After her father Vince returned, the family began a feud with Randy Orton, who began the storyline by punting Vince in the head. After a few weeks of feuding, Orton and his alliance, The Legacy, punted Shane in the head and performed an RKO on McMahon. Following the attack, he was chased out of the ring by Triple H, who is her real-life husband. The rivalry between Orton and The Legacy against Triple H and the McMahons continued at WrestleMania XXV, where Triple H defended the WWE Championship against Orton. The following month, Orton won the championship at Backlash. After Backlash, McMahon left Raw and took a hiatus from WWE television. Sporadic appearances. McMahon appeared on the November 1 episode of Raw in a pre-taped segment, where she dreams that Vince McMahon awoke from a coma after his doctor, played by actor and one-time WWE employee Freddie Prinze Jr., informed him that his wife Linda had invested millions in her campaign as she runs for Senate. Vince's heart rate elevated more and more as Prinze informed him on what was wrong with WWE since he went into a coma. After beginning to feel better, Vince realizes that he has a serious case of the runs, in which he gets out of bed and walks to the bathroom, in which he is covered in campaign signs that block his backside. McMahon suddenly wakes up from her dream and asks her husband, Triple H, if Vince was still in a coma, in which Triple H replies that Vince and the doctors believe that he was brain dead. McMahon responds by saying thank God, and then lays back down. McMahon made an appearance as a guest speaker at the WrestleMania XXVII press conference. Several months later, she appeared in a backstage segment at SummerSlam to wish CM Punk luck in his match. Upon offering to shake his hand, Punk declined and insulted her, "I would, but I know where that hand's been." The following night on Raw, McMahon appeared backstage with CM Punk and threatened him. In the end, people always get what they deserve. On July 23, 2012, McMahon made an appearance on the 1000th episode of Raw where she confronted and then slapped Paul Heyman to convince him to accept a match between Brock Lesnar and Triple H at SummerSlam. On April 6, 2013, McMahon inducted former on-screen rival Trish Stratus into the WWE Hall of Fame. The Authority. On the June 3 Raw, McMahon made an appearance as to reveal her decision not to allow Triple H to compete that night. On the June 17 Raw, McMahon confronted New Divas champion AJ Lee. On the July 8 Raw, McMahon fired Vicky Guerrero from the position of Raw managing supervisor when the WWE Universe voted failed during Guerrero's job evaluation. On the August 19 edition of Raw, Stephanie turned heel when she interrupted Daniel Bryan and supported the actions of her husband at SummerSlam the previous night, telling Bryan that he wasn't suitable to be the face of the company. Later in the night, Stephanie stood beside Triple H and her father as they celebrated Randy Orton's WWE Championship coronation, during which Daniel Bryan was attacked by The Shield and subsequently by Randy Orton. At the Slammy Awards, Randy Orton and John Cena brawled in the ring and everyone pulled them apart. Randy pushed CM Punk away, which caused Punk to attack Randy. Triple H threw Punk to the ground, which then caused Punk to attack Triple H, knocking him down. Shawn Michaels proceeded to superkick CM Punk, which caused Daniel Bryan to kick Shawn Michaels in the head. Randy Orton tried RKOing Daniel Bryan, but Daniel Bryan pushed him away and Orton barged into Stephanie, inadvertently knocking her down. Triple H saw and thought he had RKO'd her again and pedigreed him. Stephanie was at ringside when Triple H lost to Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania XXX. When The Shield attacked Triple H in his WWE World Heavyweight Championship match against Daniel Bryan, Stephanie suggested that Triple H, Batista and Randy Orton should band together and reform Evolution to take out The Shield. On April 28 edition of Raw, Stephanie apologized to Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella for an attack from Kane the previous week. To show she was sorry, she granted Brie a Divas Championship match against Paige. The match ended in no contest when Kane came out and attempted to kidnap Brie, provoking a feud between Stephanie and Brie in the process. McMahon told Bryan that if he did not give up his title, Brie Bella will be fired. At Payback, Brie allowed Bryan to keep the championship by quitting WWE and slapping McMahon across the face. On the June 16 edition of Raw, Roman Reigns spiked her coffee that Vicky Guerrero was giving her. After Stephanie was violently ill, she put Vicky in charge, who put Reigns in a battle royal for a WWE World Heavyweight Championship shot at Money in the Bank, which Stephanie had earlier banned him from competing in. The next week, Stephanie faced Vicky in a pudding match, winning and then firing Vicky, but was pushed in the pudding afterwards. The following week at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, Stephanie threw Brie Bella out of the arena. The following week, McMahon would punish Nikki Bella by inserting her in handicap matches, provoking a feud. Business career. Early career, McMahon entered WWE as a model, for WWE sales and merchandise, but started her WWE career as an account executive for the WWE sales office in New York. In her early years with the company, she did reception work, creative design, television production, and acted as a ring performer. After spending time as the director of creative writing, a job she had by 2002, she was promoted to senior vice president of creative writing in 2006. Executive vice president, McMahon was promoted to executive vice president of creative in 2007. She was responsible for overseeing the creative process for all television and pay-per-view programming. She oversaw all aspects of talent management and branding, as well as live event booking and marketing, as well as all social and digital media properties. Accomplishments as EVP. As Executive Vice President, Creative, she was able to spearhead the upbringing of the WWE app, which has been downloaded over 11 million times. She was also able to launch a huge partnership with the USO Metropolitan Washington, the social media company Tout, and was able to partner with Yahoo to bring WWE content. Stephanie also led WWE's Creative Coalition for their anti-bullying campaigns. In addition to her duties, she was responsible for the day-to-day operations for WWE.com. Chief Brand Officer. On December 4, 2013, WWE announced the promotion of Stephanie to Chief Brand Officer, where she will now lead efforts to further enhance WWE's brand reputation among key constituents including advertisers, media, business partners, and investors. McMahon will also serve as the lead ambassador of WWE and work with business units to support key growth initiatives. Stephanie will also lead WWE's targeted youth and moms marketing programs. accomplishments as CBO, McMahon's new position enabled her to spearhead the continued partnership with General Mills' Totino's brand. On February 5, 2014, Stephanie McMahon along with CMO and CRO Michelle Wilson announced a partnership between WWE and KA-Boom to build a playground for WWE's annual WrestleMania week in Louisiana. McMahon earned a combined salary of over $775,000 between her corporate role and as an on-screen talent in 2013. She also owns over $77 million in WWE stock. On April 15, 2014 during WWE's annual Business Partners Summit, Stephanie confirmed a new WWE logo that would debut by August, although it's already showing up on WWE products like the WWE Network. Business Awards and Achievements. In 2010 Fairfield County Business Journal awarded McMahon their 40 Under 40 award and was also recognized as one of the most powerful women in cable by Cable magazine in 2009, 2011, 2012, and 2013. She was also named one of Multi-Channel News Women to Watch for in 2013. In mid-October 2013, McMahon was named the honorary chairperson of the Special Olympics of Connecticut. Personal life. McMahon has been accused of having initiated the firing of Joanie Chinna Lamara, who left the WWE in 2001. Lamara, who was romantically involved with Paul Triple H Levesque for several years, claimed her departure was not due to pay, but because McMahon wanted her out of the company. Lamara claimed that during her relationship with Triple H, McMahon had an affair with him and stole him away from her. McMahon and Levesque were dating in 2000 during their scripted romance, and they were engaged on Valentine's Day in 2003. In a radio interview with Opie and Anthony in 2004, Triple H claimed that he began dating McMahon after being apart from Chinna for some time. The couple were married on October 25, 2003. After their marriage, Stephanie took her husband's surname and legally changed her middle name to McMahon. She and Levesque have 3 daughters together. On January 8, 2006, WWE announced that McMahon and Levesque were expecting their first child, due on July 27, 2006. McMahon continued to work and travel with WWE throughout her pregnancy, giving birth to an A-to-LB-7 girl, Aurora Rose Levesque, on July 24, 2006. The couple had their second child, a daughter named Murphy Claire Levesque, on July 28, 2008, and welcomed their third daughter, Vaughn Evelyn Levesque, on August 24, 2010. Other media. McMahon has appeared on The Howard Stern Show, Jimmy Kimmel Live, and Opie and Anthony. In May 2000, Stephanie appeared at the WBCN River Rave on stage with friend, Carly, to introduce gods and consign autographs in the festival area. In November 2001, McMahon appeared on a special episode of NBC's The Weakest Link where WWF personalities competed against each other for their respective charities. She made it to the final 2 but lost to Triple H. On August 14, 2005, McMahon along with Stacy Keibler, appeared on the Season 5 finale of MTV's Punk'd, where she assisted with a prank played on Triple H. On March 28, 2009, McMahon appeared alongside her mother on BNN's The Market Morning Show. McMahon as well has made several appearances on various ESPN shows. On November 11, 2009, McMahon appeared on an episode of Food Network's Dinner, Impossible alongside the WWE wrestler Big Show. In October 2013, Stephanie became the honorary chairperson for the Special Olympics of Connecticut. Stephanie has also been in some WWE games, mainly the SmackDown vs. Raw series, and currently 2K's newest and first wrestling game, WWE 2K14. McMahon has made infrequent appearances in the first season of the E! television series Total Divas. On April 23, Linda McMahon did a special interviewing series with her daughter Stephanie. The interview was based on the topic Women Can Have It All. In wrestling, signature moves, Billion Dollar Slap, Monkey Flip, Luther's Press. Wrestlers managed, Torrie, Test, Shane McMahon Mr. McMahon, Triple H Kurt Angle Mr. America, Zach Gowen, Rhino, Edge and Christian, Chris Jericho 10 Factor, Kane, Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, Batista, Ric Flair. Nicknames: The $1 Billion Billionaire Princess, Mrs. Game. Entrance themes: My Time by DX Band, Bodies by Drowning Pool, All Grown Up by Jackie O, Welcome to the Queendom by Jackie O, No Chance in Hell by Jim Johnston, The Kings by Rooney Euro DMC. Championships and Accomplishments: Pro Wrestling Illustrated, PWI Woman of the Year, PWI Feud of the Year vs. Eric Bischoff, PWI Feud of the Year vs. Daniel Bryan as a member of The Authority, PWI Most Hated Wrestler of the Year as a member of The Authority. World Wrestling Federation/WWE, WWF Women's Championship, Slammy Award for Insult of the Year, a Euro for insulting Big Show. Wrestling Observer Newsletter Awards, Worst Non-Wrestling Personality. Job titles: Chief Brand Officer, a Euro 2013, a Euro Present, responsible for leading WWE's efforts and brand reputation among key constituencies including investors, media, business partners, and advertisers, as well as marketing mom and kids initiatives. Executive Vice President, Creative Development and Operations, a Euro 2007, a Euro 2013, responsible for the creative development for all of WWE television including live and televised events and pay-per-views, as well as event bookings. Stephanie also served as a backstage producer-director. Senior Vice President, Creative Writing, a Euro 2006, a Euro 2007, responsible for overseeing the creative writing process, development, and management of WWE creative team. Director, Creative Television, a Euro 2002, a Euro 2006, responsible for the creative design, plans, and initiatives for WWE television. Account Executive and Receptionist, a Euro 1998, a Euro 2002, references, notes. Citations: Gutman, James. World Wrestling Insanity, The Decline and Fall of a Family Empire. ECW Press. ISBN A1-55022-728-9. Keith, Scott. Wrestling's Made Men, Breaking the WWE's Glass Ceiling. Citadel Press. ISBN A0-8065-2771-4. Keith, Scott. Wrestling's One Ring Circus, The Death of the World Wrestling Federation. Citadel Press. ISBN A0-8065-2619-Exa, Apliga, Patrice. Wrestling and Hypermasculinity. Jefferson, North Carolina, McFarland and Company, Incorporated, Publishers. ISBN A9780786481361. Peterson Calelbra, Angie. The McMahons, Vince McMahon and Family. Capstone Press. ISBN A0-7368-2143-0. External links: Stephanie McMahon at acorporate.com, Stephanie McMahon's profile on WWE.com, Stephanie McMahon at the Internet Movie Database.